not so surprising move. The New England Patriots have traded backup quarterback Joe Milton to the Dallas Cowboys. The details are going to be Joe Milton and a 7th round pick to the Dallas Cowboys in return for a comp 5th round pick. The Patriots do now have a pick in every single round except the 6th, and they'll have 2 extra picks in the 5th. This wasn't a surprising move because the Patriots had already received several inquiries about Joe Milton and possibly getting in a trade. The reason why I find it a little bit shocking are for 2 details. Number 1, the fact that this happened before the 2025 NFL Draft. And number 2, the fact that it was the Dallas Cowboys really doesn't feel like a Jerry Jones type of move to me, but knowing that Cooper Rush, their backup, did sign with Baltimore earlier in the NFL free agency, I guess they're looking for now a young guy to try and develop behind Dak Prescott for maybe whenever Prescott's time is over in Dallas. But I'll tell you what, my one-word reaction to this is, wow. Dallas just got a hell of an athlete. But go on ahead and let me know your one-word reaction in the comment section down below. I'm going to apologize right now for the sinuses that I have. It is allergy season here in Texas, and it is in full force right now for me. So go on ahead and let me know your one-word reaction to the Joe Milton trade in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you guys wanted to keep Joe Milton. I was also on that train for a little while, but more recently I switched over to wanting to trade for Joe Milton. And my number one reason for that is because NFL teams had one game to go off of. And that was the Week 18 win over the Buffalo Bills, which he was an absolute stud in. So his trade juice went up. And what he did in that Buffalo game, going 22 for 29, completing 76% of his passes, that looks fantastic to NFL teams that are looking for a very good backup quarterback they can either develop or have competing for the starting job. Now, unfortunately for Joe Milton, sources around Joe Milton did say that he wanted to be traded to a team where he would have the opportunity to compete for the starting job, and that is probably not going to be the case in Jerry World with Dak Prescott being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. But the good news is that now you have time to develop Joe Milton as a true quarterback too. And with Dak Prescott's injury history in the last couple of years, maybe Joe Milton could get a higher starting role earlier than not if Dak Prescott ever does go down with an injury. But it's a better situation than what he had in New England. We went out and signed Josh Dobbs in free agency to a 2-year deal, which pushed Joe Milton all the way back to quarterback 3. He sat behind Drake Maye, Jacoby Brissett the entire year and then got one fantastic game to showcase his skills to possibly go to another team. So I actually kind of like this move. And I will tell you, if anybody was expecting a 3rd round pick for Joe Milton, your expectations were set a little bit high. I think a 5th round pick was the highest we were ever going to get for a guy like Milton because he has literally 1 game of film and he's a backup quarterback. So a 3rd round pick, which is a little bit outlandish for me. I'm glad that New England had their sets really, really high and wanted to try and get a 3rd round pick for him, but I think a comp 5th round pick, you also have to give away a 7th round pick, which the New England Patriots had 3 7th round picks, so you're just going to give one to the Dallas Cowboys now, but hopefully he does have a good experience in Dallas. You know, I just want the best for the kid. I think he's a great athlete. I think he has a lot of potential. And I think that he has one of the strongest arms in the 2024 NFL draft class. So hopefully Jerry Jones and the offense there in Dallas can try and prep him to become possibly the next backup quarterback for the Cowboys for the next couple of years until Dak Prescott retires or something happens with Prescott. But I do think this is a good situation for Joe Milton. So I want you guys to go on ahead and grade the trade for me, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to go with an A. I think that this kind of helps everybody. The Patriots get an earlier draft pick for trading away Joe Milton. You have your backup quarterback in Josh Dobbs. He's more of a veteran. It's kind of a pick swap there with Jacoby Brissett and then with Joshua Dobbs. You're going to get kind of the same thing here, a veteran that he can step in and lead an offense if he needs to, but with Joe Milton, you still need to train him the same way that you're training Drake Maye to be the starter. So I think that the Cowboys got a really good athlete in this. They got a really smart backup quarterback that is going to have more time to develop. and he jumps a spot. Now he'll be quarterback 2 for the Dallas Cowboys. Mike Vrabel also hinted at this earlier this week at a press conference, and he said, look, everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to be the starter. And that's great to have that attitude. He was ready for his opportunity there late in the season, which I commend him on. Where that leads to, we'll see as the draft approaches and where Joe is on April 7th to start our offseason program. So I don't think the Patriots were even really expecting a trade this early. It sounded like Mike Vrabel was expecting to have Joe Milton at least in the offseason voluntary workouts, then maybe a trade after the NFL draft once, you find out what the Tennessee Titans do, the Cleveland Browns, which team needs a quarterback, essentially. But Mike Vrabel continued to say, but I want to give Joe credit for being ready to go, going from the third quarterback to being able to win that football game, the Week 18 game, stay ready, stay hungry. That is what the Cowboys are getting. And I'm sure they saw that as well. I mean, he jumped 2 spots, won the game, and anybody that goes completing 76% of their passes, I don't care who it's against, that's a phenomenal game. He had 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and he tagged on 241 yards. This is a project. And I think it's going to be good for him to sit behind a great quarterback in Dak Prescott and develop over time. And like I said, with injury history, you never know. But with Drake Maye, if Drake Maye gets injured, Joshua Dobbs goes in. Joe Milton only goes in if Joshua Dobbs gets injured. That's just not an environment that I would even want to be in if I wanted to compete for a starting job. I originally had thought it may have been somebody like the New Orleans Saints, the Los Angeles Chargers, just maybe somebody that could have another opportunity like the Indianapolis Colts. He can come in and try and fight for that starting job right now with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Obviously, you're not taking a starting job away from a guy like Dak Prescott, but it will be good to see what he does the next couple of years, how he can develop, and maybe if anything does happen, he can get a couple of games in this year, late fourth quarter snaps kind of thing. But this is why you guys hit that sub button for me on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Joe Milton has just been traded, the backup quarterback for the Patriots. They do move up 2 rounds with a draft pick, but they do give away one of their 7s to the Dallas Cowboys. Go on ahead, hit that sub button for me if you guys haven't already. This is a month to be subscribed to this channel. If you guys want to unsubscribe in May, feel free to do so. But the NFL draft is just a couple weeks away, and I want you guys to be completely in the loop with everything that happens with your favorite football team. So go on ahead and hit that sub button for me.